Why are they always targeting our kids? The ultimate breakdown. It's time to say it loud and clear. There's a disturbing pattern here, and it's not subtle anymore. Every few weeks there's a new headline about activists, media, or organizations pushing questionable content into our children's schools under the guise of inclusivity and education. But when you scratch the surface, the real question becomes, why are they so obsessed with targeting kids? Let's break this down into what's really happening, why it's deeply concerning, and how we can push back against it. The real issue: sneaking inappropriate content into schools. First things first, let's address the elephant in the room. The books being removed from school libraries aren't being banned in the way these people want you to think. No one's burning them in the town square. They're being taken out of school libraries because they contain material that's blatantly inappropriate for young kids. And when we say inappropriate, we mean it. Examples of books removed for good reason. One, Gender Queer by Maya Kobabe, contains explicit illustrations of sexual acts that have no place in a school library. Why would anyone think it's okay to hand this to a child? 2, All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson includes graphic descriptions of sexual encounters that even adults might find uncomfortable. This isn't about LGBTQ+ representation, it's about common sense. 3, This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson offers detailed instructions on sexual activities marketed as educational. Let's call it what it is: wildly inappropriate for young minds. 4, Out of Darkness by Ashley Hope Perez features graphic depictions of sexual abuse and other mature themes. It's disturbing that anyone would defend this as essential reading for kids. Why are kids the target? Here's the part that really doesn't sit right. Why does it always feel like our children are the focus? School should be a safe space for learning math, science, history, not absorbing adult themes that belong nowhere near a classroom. 1, Pushing agendas under the radar. Activists know that parents are the biggest roadblock, so they sneak this material into schools, hoping no one notices. They dress it up as education to make any opposition look like ignorance or bigotry. 2, Chipping away at parental oversight. These moves are designed to bypass parents, giving children access to content that most families wouldn't allow at home. It's not about freedom of expression, it's about control. 3, Creating a narrative of oppression. When books are removed for valid reasons, it's spun into a book ban controversy to rally outrage. But here's the truth. No one is banning these books. They're still available in bookstores and public libraries. The only thing happening is keeping them out of schools where kids shouldn't have access to explicit material. The hypocrisy of the book ban narrative. The media loves to scream book bans to make parents look like the villains, but let's ask some real questions here. If we can agree that kids shouldn't have access to R-rated movies without parental consent, why is it controversial to say they shouldn't have access to books with explicit sexual content? Why is it okay to remove a children's book for being too outdated or not diverse enough, but not okay to remove a book with graphic, explicit content? Why is this always framed as an attack on freedom of expression when it's really about age-appropriate boundaries? The real numbers don't lie. Over 10,000 books were pulled from school libraries in the past year due to parental concerns about inappropriate content, PEN America. The majority of these books were flagged for containing explicit sexual material, graphic violence, or adult themes. These aren't harmless stories being unfairly targeted. They're books that don't belong in schools, period. How this harms kids, exposing children to material they aren't emotionally or developmentally ready for, isn't progressive. It's harmful. 1, Confusion and anxiety. Kids don't need to be grappling with adult themes before they even understand basic life skills. 2, Undermining trust in schools. Parents trust schools to provide a safe, nurturing environment. Sneaking in this content breaks that trust. 3, Exposing kids to ideologies they can't critically evaluate. Children aren't mini-adults. They lack the ability to analyze and question these materials, making them more susceptible to influence. What we can do about it? If you're as tired as I am of seeing this nonsense creep into our schools, here's what you can do. 1, Get involved. Attend school board meetings. Know what's in your child's library. Ask questions and don't let them dodge answers. 2, Push for transparency. Schools should be required to publish lists of all materials available in their libraries. No more surprises. 3, Advocate for age-appropriate standards. Demand clear guidelines on what's acceptable for school-aged children. 4, Speak up. Don't let fear of backlash silence you. Protecting kids is always worth the fight. Final thoughts. Enough is enough. It's not a coincidence that kids are being targeted. This is a deliberate effort to bypass parents, blur boundaries, and normalize exposing children to things they're too young to handle. And it's being disguised as progress. But here's the truth. There's nothing progressive about stripping away parental rights and ignoring common sense. Our schools should be focused on educating kids, not indoctrinating them, confusing them, or exposing them to harmful content. So no, we're not banning books. We're just drawing the line where it should have been all along. Enough is enough. Our kids deserve better.